What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Herkerweight here, back at it again with another video, and this time we're going to talk about NBA 2K17. Is it good? Is it bad? Should you go get it? Stick around and find out in the review.
Now turn up.
Okay, so let's get this off the bat here. This game is an annual release. Everyone knows that. But is it good? Is it a good release, or is it something that's another roster update? I have to say, after spending about a week with this game, it is in the middle. It is a updated copy, obviously, but it is also something new. With 2K16, that game, to me, was probably trash. It was trash. It wasn't as good. It wasn't as innovative. I mean, okay, you got Spike Lee, but that was the only thing it had going for it. If you really wanted to compare apples to apples, 2K16 was the same as 2K17 with Spike Lee in it. That was it. It was no real difference. I still felt like I was playing the same game. And in a sense, 2K17 is still the same, but with a twist. Alright, so I mean, you got your regular modes, you got your My GM, My League, you got your one-on-one, you got your online play, you got your My Park, you got your Pro-Am, and everything is there from 2K15. Alright, so I'm not really gonna go into that because that's pretty much the same. Everything's pretty much the same. Alright, it's no different. I mean, it feels a little bit better, it's a little bit of content, but it's really no different. Now, the main baby of 2K, the whole NBA 2K franchise, is My Career. Alright, from when you first start up the game, the very first thing you're gonna do is set up a player to set up My Career. Alright, now you can also use this in My Park, but My Career is the focus of it. In fact, 2K took a survey, and 62% of NBA 2K17 players stated that they would rather play in My Career than anything else. Alright, so that is going to be the focus of this review. Alright, now again, if you're into having a My League or My GM, you can do that, but it's no different. It's not really different than what you came to expect. Alright, so My Career, first off, you are another prospect, a high school prospect who gets to pick a college. And this year, instead of Frequency Vibrations, you are Prez, aka Mr. President, and that is your whole theme throughout at least your first year. I haven't finished my first year yet, but I can say that this theme will probably go on forever and ever and ever. And then in college, you have a little teammate, but when you get drafted, you are paired with Justice Young, played by Michael B. Jordan, which he is amazing as an actor. And in this game, I mean, they have corny lines, obviously, but at the same time, it's still great. Alright, there's no complaints there from Justice Young. And as a player, starting out as a rookie, he's not half bad. He is not half bad. And then when you really begin a bond between Prez and Young, you form this little clique, Orange Juice, Fresh Squeeze, you know. It's corny, but it works. Alright, and speaking of Orange Juice, for the first time ever, in My Career mode, you can control another player who was previously an AI. Now, you can only do this for a limited amount of time, and it can only happen when you really got a strong connection between you and Young. This means that if he passes you the ball and you shoot and you make it, you get the assist, the bond grows stronger. Or vice versa, if you pass to him and he makes it, the bond grows stronger. So when you're playing My Career, you don't want to be selfish with it, but you want to try to get the ball to Young as much as possible so he can shoot it, especially when he's open, because he is a hell of a player. He's better than you. I'm just going to put that out there, because no matter what, and we're going to talk about this later, no matter what you try to do, your stats is always going to be capped. It's going to be capped. Depending on what kind of guard you are or what kind of position you are, most likely you're going to be a guard, because that's what people like to do. They like to play guard. Some people like to play power forward or small forward, but most of the time people choose point or shooting guard. But anyways, you're going to be capped, and he's going to be better than you. And if the stats don't show it, well, damn it, the gameplay does show it, because this guy is amazing. He can rebound, he can steal, he can play defense, he can hold his man down. He can do it all. This is what you dream your player could be. And yeah, so starting off with my career again, they changed it up a little bit. There's a lot of stuff that can affect your player in the feature run, from your weight to your height, your arm span, all of that. Now, if you're too tall, then you can't do everything. If you're too short, you can't do everything. If you're too skinny, you can't do everything. If you're too fat, you can't do everything. And I like it, but then I don't like it, because I don't agree with how they calculated what you can and cannot do, depending if you're too fat, too skinny, or too tall, too short. 6'1", about 179 pounds is what they expect to have an equal level playing field. Now, if you're tall enough, then you can dunk and all that, but you can't run. And to me, I don't believe in that, because I've seen some tall players run. They have a nice 40. So I don't agree with that, but I like the approach. I like the direction they're heading into. So hopefully 2K18, they can tweak that a little bit so it can be a little bit better. The whole creating the player, especially with the face game. This year, 2K finally realized that not everyone has a freaking Kinect or a PS4 camera, or whatever you want to call it. And this year, you can use your smartphone. Almost everyone has a cell phone. And if they don't have a cell phone, they have a tablet or iPod or something that you can download an app onto. As long as you can download that app and it has a camera on it, then you can take a picture of yourself and scan your image into the game. Now, in theory, this is amazing. This is what should have been done from the get-go. Was it executed correctly? No, it was not. First of all, it took me at least 10 tries, 10 tries to get the app to scan my face correctly. All right. And then as I got it scanned correctly, and you review the images before you upload them to 2K servers, you download them on the game, whether it's PS4 or Xbox One, you download them and it does this little thing, but it's not as good as the pictures are. The downloading part took me about 4 or 5 tries. Every time it downloaded, it'll say something like, could not complete scan, pay attention to the app. It kind of downplays you if you think about it. It says pay attention to the app and follow the instructions clearly. That's something that may kind of get you upset, but again, I like the direction that 2K is going into. All right, let's talk presentation. Presentation, it's the same. You got Ernie, Kenny, and Shaq. And they all look like robots. Like, have you ever been to Chuck E. Cheese and the robots are just moving their arms and moving their head and the eyeballs are going side to side? That's exactly what they look like in the game. They don't look realistic, and they look like they're just looking off into space somewhere. It's not a realistic presentation. And then another thing that really pisses me off is when you are about to hop into a game. Again, this is my career. You're about to hop into the game, and they always talk about the opposing team. I don't care about the opposing team. Tell me something about my team. I have a 27 win streak. Why can't you talk about that? Who cares about what's going on with the Pelicans right now? I want to know about my team. All right. Now, in the game, the presentation has been tweaked a little. I mean, it's still kind of generic, you know, passes the ball to Steve, passes the ball to Smith. Smith shoots, oh, he misses us. But there is a little bit of tweaking inside of it. All right, and I like that. Again, I like the direction that they're going to. They need to go from here and just go for it. Go for it, go higher, do more into it. I mean, you have 50 gigabytes of space. Use it all. All right. And speaking of that, I have noticed that there is a bit of maybe 2K16 code into this game. For example, got player of the game, right? When you get player of the game, sometimes you speak to Shaq, Kenny, or Ernie, right? Now, doing one of these interviews, Shaq said, "Thank you, freak." Really? And then, again, on the court, you are a teammate of Justice Young. And Justice says, has anybody seen Freak? You know, I don't know if this is a shout out or if this is a error on 2K's end, but it's just something that I noticed, and a patch has not been released for this game yet, at least not for the PS4 version. So that's something to be looked out for. Speaking of patches, here's one thing that I cannot stand about 2K. The animations. It needs to be fixed. There's no way that you should be stuck in an animation. It's not as fluid as a real person. So if you're going for a steal, and you know, the steal, he misses the steal, there's no way that you should run forward 2 to 3 steps. Just move your hand and jump back. Because a real body, you're not gonna lean forward, you know, and then keep stepping. You're gonna just try to swipe the ball. He does it. If you don't get it, you step back. Or if you're running, you just come to a stop. You know, you don't keep running into the crowd, hop into the crowd, lean over to the crowd, fall into the crowd, and then say, oops, my bad. And now you're losing points for transitioning back on defense. So the animations really needs to be fixed, along with the visuals. Come on, 2K. Come on now. This game is still the same as 2K15. If you put 2K15 and 2K17 together, they're the same thing. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. There's no difference in this. And it looks exactly the same. And it shouldn't. It shouldn't. This is 2016 going into 2017. You need to make sure that the visuals are on point. All these other games, Grand Theft Auto, Uncharted, The Witcher, all these other games, Mafia 3. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, that is a 2K game. Talk to your brothers and say, hey, how do you get Mafia to look so good? You know, you have 100 NPCs. We only have 10. 12 if you count the referees. How do you get it to look so good? You know? Just, please, do something. I remember when, I know there's a different franchise, but with Madden 06 and NBA Live 06 came out for Xbox 360, it looked amazing. It was probably the most realist animations, realist graphics, visuals, whatever you want to call it, I've seen in the game. And that was 10 years ago. And now we're here in a new generation where HD is the thing and we can't even get it right. Why? So, yeah. But other things to note, loading times has been improved greatly. You can text in your phone. You can text in the game. I love that. I love the fact that you can actually text in the game and get some type of feedback. Now, you can't choose what you want to say, or you can choose what you want to say, but you can't type it yourself. But the fact that you have the options, I like it. I like the direction that they're going in with this, because there's a point in the game where you have to make a decision about another teammate, and this decision can affect how that teammate will treat you going on into the future, or if you're even communicating with that teammate ever again. I'm not going to spoil it, but I think that is amazing that 2K put that in there. I'm just loving the direction 2K is going into. I know I said that plenty of times, but it's true. This direction is really something interesting. Alright, now I didn't cover everything about the game, but I cover what people care about the most, and that's my career mode. Alright, is it the best my career mode? No, it isn't. Is it a step up? Yes, it is. And that's why I'm giving this game an 8 out of 10. I recommend you get this game if you're not a 2K fan. If you're a 2K fan, it's no brainer. But if you're not a 2K fan, or if you're on the fence about getting it because the past 2K games have been, I say go ahead and get this. Alright, it's worth the $60. It is a full game. Now, you get the Legendary or Gold Edition. That's only if you want the extra crap. If you need the extra VC, or if you want the Kobe Bryant stuff. But it's not that important. The core game itself is good as it already is. Alright, so that's everything I got. 8 out of 10. If you haven't got this game, I don't know what you're doing. Go ahead and go get it. And like this review if you thought it was great. If you didn't like it, go ahead and give me a dislike. And comment. Let me know what you think about it. Subscribe to the channel. Got more content coming on the way. Especially a Mafia 3 review and impressions. You know. Along with that, I got a giveaway. Yes, a giveaway. More details to follow with that. It's your boy Hercule. That's all I got. Peace.